How is everybody today? I have got some really interesting roles that I want to do a little bit of work with. And everybody has been after me to do some videos with these roles, so I am going to do that. But before I even get to opening a role a little bit later in another video, I am going to do a real quick one here about something that I look for every time I buy a grouping of roles that are all the same. Now, these are six, I guess if you want to call them original bank wrapped rolls. They are, and I'll point that out in a minute, they're Batdorf rolls. And if you guys don't know what Batdorf wrapped rolls are, please feel free to go back through some of my other videos on my channel, and you'll learn what a Batdorf wrapped roll is. It is a very special roll, and it's held very dear to me especially. But these are all 1942D rolls, and they are all stamped, and they are all from a place called the Commerce Trust Bank in Kansas City. And I did a little bit of research and history on the Commerce Trust Bank in Kansas City, which if you look it up, you'll find out that it started in 1906, and it is still going today, which is kind of interesting. But the interesting part about these rolls, aside from the fact that they are Batdorf wrapped rolls, is that if you take a real close look at it, and this is something that the person I bought these from, his name is David, and hello David, how are you? I know you're probably watching. But he sent me the original pictures of these rolls laid out very similar to this. There were 7 of these rolls that I had actually, and I opened one earlier, and so I just want to do this little video so that everybody can get a chance to see this. But one of these rolls is not like the other, and so anytime I buy a grouping of rolls that are all the same from the exact same bank, same date, stuff like that, I always take a real close look at them to see if there's anything odd or out of the ordinary. And if you look real close, obviously this one stands out a little bit in the video because it is a slightly darker color. But if you look really, really closely, you will notice that the printing on that particular roll is actually slightly smaller and tighter in terms of the printing on it than, say, the roll right above it that I have here. And so the part that I find the most intriguing about that is while they're wrapped exactly the same from the exact same bank with the exact same coins in them, supposedly, that they're different wrappings. And so I pay very, very close attention to that. You'll notice that the 50 pennies on here is significantly different. It's much smaller font here and much tighter and wider, and I guess if you want to call it bled out a little bit more on this one. So a couple of things that could possibly cause that. First thing, while they were wrapping these, it could very simply be that they ran out of paper and started a new paper roll. And if you've ever seen how the paper rolls of these are, they're massive paper round rolls to be able to wrap a lot of coins at once. But the part that intrigues me the most about this, and I will unwrap this roll later on, is that of all of these rolls, this is the only roll that is different, and it is actually a tails roll. The rest of them have at least one head showing, if not 2, so that we know that they're actually 42Ds. So this is very possible that it is a different date and or mint. Now, it is stamped 42D on it, so I'm not going to bet that it is anything other than that, but they are definitely original and old. And so that's one thing I want to make sure I point out to everybody. So if you are looking at buying original bank wrapped rolls and you're looking at buying a large lot of them all from the same date, all from the same mint, all from the same bank, you may want to look very, very closely at the printing on them to see if you see any anomalies or something that's just plain old out of the ordinary. I'll be back in another video a little bit later to open several of these rolls. And it is kind of exciting. The one roll that I did actually break open last night has some incredible coins in it. And also a few surprises in it. So tune back in a little bit later and you will get a chance to see some of these rolls opened. Thank you, and hopefully we'll see you back.